All right, everybody, after a long winter, you may be noticing maybe that the concrete work around your house is not what it used to be. And if that's the case, your next call should be to Ivy Lee Construction. President Mike Washington is back to explain what you can expect when your job is done by Ivy Lee. And Mike, we were just looking at your website. That's a fantastic place to start because a lot of information about what you folks do is there on the website. Plus, you know what? If you log on and you become, let's say, a Facebook friend, there's some deals there that you offer through the web.
Yeah, there sure is. There's a couple different ways you can actually reach us. If you do go to our website, there's something on there called Easy and Accurate Estimate. You can type it right there, any time of the day, fill out all the information right there on the right. It comes right to our office. Someone will call you the next day. It's very simple. Oh. So if you're thinking at home after office hours, hey, we really got to get our driveway looked at, or whatever that might be in your house, it's a real simple way. You also mentioned the Facebook. If you like us on Facebook, there's tons of coupons on there. That you're able to, once you like us, that you're able to get this month alone. I think there's up to $1,500 off any home improvement project at all.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and we also have some 0% financing out for 2 years to get your help started with your project this year.
Yeah, and you know, when we're talking about something like concrete, this is a perfect time to start thinking about it. So maybe, you know, you're happy with your house and everything, but maybe, you know, you have a very small patio and you're realizing how much of your life you're living out there. You want to expand that. For sure.
We really, today, it seems like people are staying home more often and they're really getting in their backyards and the front yards and really expanding things a lot. In our concrete service, there's just so many things that we can do, from driveways and patios, pool decks, even if you need a new pool deck, if you're an older pool deck around. Here's one of our guys actually installing a driveway. And you really want to start and make sure you're getting a good contractor out there.
Yes.
You want to really start with a good solid base. You want to have a good compacted base. It will help with settlement and if there is any cracking, to limit the amount of cracking in your driveway.
Oh yeah.
You really want to make sure you have a good concrete mix. You know, you want to start with a good 4,000. For us, we actually pour 4,500 now. That's the amount of per square inch that the concrete will actually be able to take in pressure. You really want to start with a good mix. 6.5 to 7 bag mix of concrete, which is the amount of concrete mix that's actually in the total cement mix. You want to also make sure there's a proper water amount in there. You don't want to be adding a lot of water on the job. You also want to make sure that there's a proper air entrainment in that concrete. All these things we like to talk about while we're out there, that most people don't really understand all the things that go into the concrete, that our staff is going to come out and really explain things to you. All the stuff that you don't really need to know, but we want to explain to you. And make sure you understand why we're doing it, or the certain reasons we're doing certain things out there.
And this is why you want Mike and his staff, because you know what? These folks do this professionally year after year. They don't dabble in it. You're not going to see a little ad, you know, saying, hey, you know, we'll do your concrete work real cheap. That's the stuff that cracks. Okay, these people don't know what they're doing. You don't want them on your property. These guys do this all the time. They're not subcontractors.
No, everyone that works for us is in-house employees. They have to be attainable, they have to be on time, they have to, everyone's drug screened, everyone is accountable for their actions, so they're doing a good job every day, day in and day out.
These are actually people you'd invite in your house. Did you ever have workmen come and you're like, I'll give you the glass of water out here? No, these folks are awesome. You know, they're become like family for you. But I'll tell you, they're not around long enough to become family because they do the job so quickly. But they will also explain to you things along the way. You were talking about thickness, finishing techniques. There's so much to decide when you're having concrete poured these days.
For sure. Depending on what location of your house, you know, there's stamped concrete today, there's exposed aggregate mix today, obviously regular concrete. There's all sorts of different finishes that we can put on your concrete, swirl finishes, broom finishes, flat finishes, all sorts of different things that we can and point you in the right direction, I think. You know, I think I was talking to actually someone here before I left last time. We were discussing concrete then also, and he had a lot of questions on the slipperiness of the concrete on stamp. He wanted to do some stamped concrete, and his wife was concerned about the slipperiness of it. And I said, oh no, there's some silica sand, some sharp grip that we would use for that type of case. That here's some stamped concrete here that you got to be careful when it does get sealed up and has a nice sheen on it, that it can get slippery. We have things that we can recommend to say, hey, this is what you should should do. You know, this
look
isn't
at the colors.
Yeah, I mean, there's endless opportunity today for color, for different patterns to go in. That's actually integral color, so the color goes all the way through the concrete. Say, you know, something happened, you got a chip in the concrete, the same color will be there, so it's not just topical, it goes all the way through.
Now, does that have to be like reglazed?
Yeah, you're going to want to reseal that every couple of years, every 2 to 3 years, also depending on the look that you like.
Right.
Now that's a high sheen, a high solid finish, so it has a little sheen to it. Some people want a little duller finish, which is a different type of sealer that we would use. So there's a lot that goes into it. We really want to use different types of sealer for different projects. On this job here, that was a driveway with stamped concrete in there, and then there's exposed aggregate in the middle of it. So there's different looks there and different colors.
And see how this adds to the value of your house.
Oh, for sure.
When you get that done.
It's all curb appeal. It's all, and it's the first thing people see. They drive in or they walk up on. Walkways in the back, and we do a lot of stamped walkways to stamped concrete patios, and we do a lot of building too, because we're not just one phase of home improvement. So we'll do stamped concrete work on the deck, and then we'll actually build a patio over it. There's so many different options.
There is so much to talk about when it comes to this. We're going to take a break, and we're going to show you our phone numbers as well, 644-9840, and you get to ask Mike, okay? So we'll talk more about this. Take your calls. But remember, Ivy League Construction, if you've already seen enough, call them now at 875-8654 and get on the schedule. Mike will come on out, take a look at the job, and we can get going for spring. But stay right there, because Mike returns right after this.